Hey everyone, this is Mike, and I'm here with Isaac,
Hey,
and we're here to talk about some video games. More specifically, we're here to talk about a little bit of a news announcement that happened a day ago, so ago. Nintendo has apparently lost a big battle with the Power World regarding one of their main patents for the game that's currently with the ongoing lawsuit against Power World and Pocketpair. Yeah, and an article from Insider Gaming, Nintendo's anti-patent Power World patent application has been rejected in Japan. This is pretty big news. But before we get into it, if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Again, this article comes from Insider Gaming. It was a huge patent that was denied in the patent office of Japan, and it was due to it lacking an innovative step, basically saying that it was unique enough to warrant um, acknowledging this patent in Japanese patent offices. One of the big reasons why it was denied was because it mentions that there was other games that use the idea behind or the concept behind this patent, including Ark, Survival Evolved, Monster Hunter 4, and I believe it was also mentioned, yeah, Pokemon Go, one of their own games that they've worked on. Well, technically, it wasn't their their full official work. It was made by Niantic, but yeah, they mentioned that game as an excuse that this doesn't fly in our patent office. And again, this is patent to 2024 which was basically the claim of capturing monsters using a spiritual spear, a ball object, and using that as a way of capturing the monster on a playing field. Basically, it's a big first step in that shows that Nintendo isn't as invincible as many people think they are. So that's the long and short of it. But I was wondering, what you thought about it?
all right. Now, based on the article, now Nintendo, based on the GPO, I don't know how the Japanese patent office works in Japan though, but because now they got denied, they have what at least 30 days to rebuttal or
Yes,
to re
to
rephrase it or refine their argument on why
uh, submit an appeal.
to submit an appeal. That's
Yeah,
the best word I was trying to
yeah,
figure out.
appeal.
Correct. Okay. Um, Yes, in one end, you would say that this is actually a some very good news on the front of Power World in terms of their legal argument with Nintendo on trying to keep things. So, um, yeah, but at the end of the day, this is still Nintendo. Whether or not, I think we've come to the conclusion of whether or not they. I don't think it's not about if Nintendo wins these patent arguments. I think it's just enough to just keep them in the loophole
Yeah,
as long as enough just to put through denigration.
yeah,
It's not about winning these arguments at the
yeah, we
point.
know it's true. It's not
So
about.
it's really hard to say it's a great win. Yes, I guess
It's still a big win, but I know what you're trying to say. Like when it comes to lawsuits, it's not Nintendo doesn't have to win. Pocket Pair just has to lose. That's the point.
and not even just lose and not even lose in a big way. Like you read earlier this year, you mentioned that Power World changed their throwing mechanic.
Well, it's not. No, it's
their
not
their
the
their uh,
gliding
their
mechanic.
gliding mechanic right off the bat. That's even a win on Nintendo because you changed something to alter just to get out of a situation.
Well, it's
And I
not.
think and I think I sat down and made the argument. If you believe that's not true, you stay firm. Even Nintendo getting you to bite on your change in your game is still a win on Nintendo's part.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but again, as we've basically established, we don't know if Japanese patent law is the same as U.S. patent law.
Which is another
So,
issue.
so maybe they're just doing it because I know they did mention that yes, we did change it, but it was to show, I believe was the word I'm looking for, to show goodwill towards the lawsuit. That's what they said in their press release,
And
and
that is
that
a
was
win on
a.
Nintendo's end. You still changed it.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
still
they could
changed it.
easily change it back. So it's not like they say like, oh, we're never going. We can't just. We're just going to not have it forever. They
You
could
already
easily
changed it
change
once.
it
But you
back.
already changed it once.
I'm
You,
pretty sure it's just a flip they need to switch to just like change it back. It's
I,
I'm pretty
you,
sure
you
they like.
changed it.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's just that again we don't know how Japanese patent law. Obviously, if it's U.S. patent law,
I
I would say
understand. I
that.
don't know Japanese law. I'm just saying you still changed it.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, again, I don't know if it. I don't know. I don't know if it's just to sort the get things sorted out or whatever or whatever. But yeah, I know what I get what you're trying to say. That yeah, it's a win for them, but like at the end of the day, it's everything's still ongoing. The litigation is still being like looked
Correct.
over.
Yes.
So like I get it. It obviously just hurts the players more than anybody else, because for me that it's just having that obviously that feature removed is a little bit of a turnoff, because one of my favorite things was being able to use my pals as a glider, and the fact that that was obviously disabled in the game is obviously it's a bit of a turnoff, just a lot, just as much as the function of not being able to throw your pal spear into the field in order to summon your pal is a bit of it affects the gameplay a lot more, because now instead of being able to throw your pal spear out into the field in order to summon your pal at a safe distance so you're not in danger, now only being able to summon your pal to your side, it affects the gameplay heavily, because again as the pal trainer you're squishy. You take more damage very easily. Like a lot of things can one shot you in the game, so you would throw your pal spear out and have your pal out in the field to attack the monster to draw aggro. But having that gameplay element, it does affect the gameplay like a fair bit.
And to win on Nintendo. That's point one on Nintendo. Like I
But is
understand.
it really a win,
Well,
considering how much good like bad will they're getting from this?
really? Well, has it affect Nintendo's bottom line in some form or way? I understand it.
Bottom line, no. Like goodwill, yes, and a lot of companies are kind of learning that goodwill is just as important as earning money, because eventually that goodwill is going to run out, and they're running out with a lot of it quickly with everything that's going on with the company in general.
I'm still hearing good financial reports on Nintendo's end with the Switch too. I'm still hearing great reports on sales on Pokemon.
Well,
Like
because
what I understand. Listen, I understand having good faith and having a and good PR is very important, and I 100% agree with you. But in the world of business and in financial, and you get it, having goodwill can affect that. But Nintendo at the moment has shown to not be stopping at any point. Like I'm just trying to see the financial debt that's being hit, and I understand that having goodwill translates into that.
mm-hmm. Well, like, of course they're still making money. It's Nintendo. They have an army of blind fanboys that are going to support them no matter what.
And
Like
that's the issue right now.
it's
Like
not, I don't really think.
like even within this argument that's been presented, even though like for and it seems like it's coming more from the Western culture, mostly from us. Like we're very upset about how this has been handling, and I agree with how like it's basically it's big company picking on little company now. And hey, listen, we love underdogs. Like Power World is an underdog in all of this throughout the whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
which I totally get. So us people on YouTube saying this is atrocity, this is mess up, this is terrible. Everywhere else, it seems like in terms of Japanese culture, Japanese is like, well, this is just business being business right now. You don't really see any uphill in the East in this situation. Not that I know of, or not that I'm not aware of through the social media with all this litigation that is happening.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, to me, yes, I agree. This is still a win, and it's still more of a win in terms of the perception of Nintendo or what you can't do. But on the bottom line of financial institution, this isn't denting Nintendo one bit.
Well, I
Not yet,
don't
unless at
think
the
the point
moment.
is to dent Nintendo. The point is to get Power World to continue existing. Like what I let's put Nintendo out of the picture for a minute. The
And I
point
think
thing that
Power World will continue to exist
Mhm.
after this. Like,
Yeah, and obviously we
it's just
want
that they're gonna make multiple changes to a gameplay. Like you said, it's affected your experience through gameplay already.
yeah,
Like, so Nintendo
yeah.
already has done some damage to it in
Yeah,
some
it's a
point.
quote unquote yes, it's affected the game, but the game still exists, and there's still a chance that everything can reverted back. So regards to that, Pocket Pair is still moving for it's still chugging along. Not to mention that they're working on another game that continues to take shots at Nintendo in a spiteful way. That Pal Farm game that we
Yes,
discussed
we
a
did
few
talk
did
about
game
that. Yeah.
that basically makes fun of Animal Crossing, even though it's not an Animal Crossing style game. It's more of an Harvest Moon slash Stardew Valley style game, but it obviously makes fun of Animal Crossing with how the trailer is presented. So it's not like that's like Pocket Pair is afraid of Nintendo at this point, and obviously that works to their advantage because again it shows how much they're the good guys in this way and how Nintendo is being the bully here. So
Which we've already discussed,
yeah,
but again, it's not really
uh,
affecting Nintendo at the end of the
and
day.
it's not, a lot of this is not going to affect Nintendo. It's never going to affect Nintendo's
More than it
bottom
will
line. But I
eventually
don't really
affect
care
Power
about
War at the
Nintendo. I don't
moment.
care about Nintendo's bottom line in this situation. All I care about is Pocket Pair surviving this stupid thing that they initiated due to their lack of their lack of fixing the Pokemon IP because like obviously Pokemon Legends AZ isn't doing well and isn't doing anyone any favors considering how poorly received it as visually, storytelling wise, gameplay wise. Like it's like not doing well. Again, yes,
It's
financially it did well. Yeah, I know you're gonna say bring that up. Yeah, but again,
which it,
financially,
I'm sorry, Michael,
but
that's all that matters.
I don't think that's
That's
all that
all that matters.
matters.
It's
To
sold.
Nintendo,
It
yeah, but to the actual people
the
that
system.
actually cares about games like this, the fun and
Which
appealing to what
should
your
be the
customers
number
want.
one output, but Nintendo has proven that's not the case in this moment.
Like,
I I agree with you. I want like Power. Like I said, we already said that Power World will still exist, and I hope it still exists too. Like I think it's great that n- we're getting more of these monster catching games at the moment that are bringing more ideas, and I think Nintendo should be more of the company to look at what Power World is doing so they can implement those ideas to make Pokemon better, not use their legal muscle to bully all these independent companies around that decides that they want to use the concept, which is not their concept, to bully them into oblivion. Again, we already talked about how the fact that we're able to get away with U.S. patents and their laziness on that and on the front. So with all these litigations too. Again, I really do hope they. It's not that I hope. I think Power will survive in some form or
mm-hmm,
way, and you guys and people will still be able to enjoy it. Though,
mm-hmm.
I just don't know how much of this is a big win, other than like you said, it's more of the PR perspective. It's more of the imaging of that. Speaking of that, and I don't know what I don't know. Maybe this is rumor how there was a rumor that's quote unquote floating around that one of the reasons why they're pushing for this is that they wanted to create a game that sort of was Power World. I don't know if you've heard any kind of
No,
rumor
I
that was
have not heard
honestly
any rumor like
rumor.
that.
I was reading something about that while
I
going through that.
nah.
I just again rumor. I and I also agree. I don't know. I don't think that lines up pretty much well. But going back to also the patent arguments too. Now, like you said, the patent that got rejected isn't affecting the ongoing case that's happening now for a completely different patent. I guess
The glider patent,
was it the
yeah.
glider patent? Yeah.
Well, again,
It's two separate patents. One got rejected, but but that's not a part of the legal case that's going on.
I believe, I'm not 100%
I'm pretty sure I read something about that. This is a completely different rejection, but the judge who is the judge who is on the case for one of the patents is going to recognize that did get rejected. So when it does come to final jury, they are going to acknowledge that patent failed within their case. That's what I read.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, it is. That is true. Yes, because like when it comes down to it, that is the main like situation that is being used in the case. Yes, the patent about throwing objects and stuff like that, and then the other patents are kind of just Nintendo trying to cover their behind and trying to
to throw shit at the wall at the moment.
Trying to bite at Pocketpair's ankles, basically. And that's basically what the other patents are doing, considering they're all filed after Pal World had its early access release. So, yeah, that's the long and short of it. Overall, when it comes to this whole situation, like Nintendo was still gonna be sitting on their ivory tower. Of course, Nintendo is still Nintendo. They're still the biggest gaming company in the world. Pokemon is still the biggest IP in the world. That's not gonna change. I acknowledge that, but personally, it's not. It's not like the continued success, financial success of Pokemon isn't really my concern. All I just want them is to leave Pocketpair alone. That's in the end. That's all I really want. They can continue mass producing their like Pokemon games to middling audiences all they want. I would much prefer to stick with what Pocketpair is doing with Power. The whole reason why I prefer this over Pokemon because it feels like a Pokemon game that actually grew up with its audience compared to Pokemon that's basically just using an old formula that's stuck in the past. And I really wish Nintendo would just, instead of like again using their legal muscle to try to take these guys down, instead learn from these people and like just like understand what your true audience actually wants.
No, again, yeah, Pocketpair. I agree with everything you said. Again, it seems to only vary based on depending where the audiences are located. I've noticed,
I get it. There's like national pride in Nintendo and Pokemon and stuff like that, and it's so a lot of Japanese people feel the need to defend this company in this IP no matter what. In fact, there was like this one, I believe, a Japanese game dev, a pretty big one. I forgot his name. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna mention the name, but that Japanese game dev said that what Pocketpair is doing is like unethical and saying that like this game should not exist at all, and say what Nintendo is doing is good. Obviously, a lot of people disagreed with that because they got roasted on social media for it, mostly from the Western community. But
I think it's more of social ideologies depending on where you are nation-wise and what you believe in, and because again, Japanese culture is, like you said, Nintendo is very old, and when it comes to their culture, they tend to respect the older companies. That's just their society.
Yeah, I get it.
So they'll tend to lean more towards Nintendo's behalf than we're Power World. So it is very interesting to see how both worlds kind of view the whole situation in that aspect.
Yeah, I get you. But anyway, that's all we really want to talk about. What do you think about the ongoing lawsuit between Nintendo and Pocketpair? Do you think that this patent get rejected is a good thing or a bad thing? But anyway, if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.